Within the main series Pokemon games, there are a total of over 80 towns and cities for you to visit and explore, ranging from small hometowns to cities that are home to hundreds of residents. Oi tough trainers, Lance here, and today I'll be counting down the top 5 Pokemon towns and cities that I'd like to live in by taking into account their location, landscape, size, and attractions. At number 5 today, we have got ourselves Melville City. What? No, not that Melville City. Melville City from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. One of the very appealing things about Melville City is that so much of it is sheltered. You don't have to worry about snow, about rain, about heat, because you can be in that city undercover and be just fine. Melville City has so many shops that you just wouldn't get bored shopping there, including a cafe, a bike shop, which is cool because you can receive the bicycle, and even a food court. Why don't all Pokemon towns and cities have a food court? Because they should. On top of Melville City having a ton of really cool shops, it's also got a really relaxed, chilled out rooftop area where I could see myself hanging out with friends or just sitting down reading a book. It's got some nice greenery such as small bushes and trees, and it also overlooks other parts of Melville City, which I think is really cool. From the rooftop, you can also see the statue, which is positioned at the bottom level in the very center of Melville City, and I think it is a really cool looking statue as well. So I'm just really glad they redid Melville City in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because otherwise it wouldn't have been on this list. At number 4 today, we have got ourselves Cyllage City. After arriving in Lumiose City, Campea Town, Amberette Town, it is a relief to finally arrive in a city where you can take on a gym leader. On top of being home to the second gym in Kalos, Cyllage City is also a pretty good size in my opinion. It's not so big that it feels overwhelming, it's not so small that it's really boring to explore, and on top of that, part of it is a really nice looking beach. On top of half of Cyllage City being surrounded by a beautiful ocean, it also contains a cafe, a clothing shop, and a bicycle shop. But I'll be honest with you guys, the main reason I love Cyllage City so much is because of that awesome bicycle ramp. I mean, you finally get your bicycle in Kalos and you want to test it out, and it just works out so well that there happens to be a massive bike ramp that you go all the way up before zooming really fast down on, either on your bike or your roller skates. And honestly, it's like the most fun thing to do in Pokemon X and Y. I really love doing it. If you couldn't tell, I like bikes. So I feel like that is a big incentive to actually want to live in Cyllage City. But not only is that ramp really cool for riding your bike and your roller skates, but I reckon it would be a pretty cool place to just sit down and overlook the rest of Cyllage City. On top of that, Cyllage City is also located pretty close to Geosenge Town, Amberette Town, and even Campea Town if you're willing to travel through a cave. At number 3 today, we have got ourselves the biggest Pokemon city from any Pokemon region in the main series games. It is Lumiose City. This city is so big, you can ride Go-Go, you can ride taxis to where you need to go, and that is really cool. This city is also positioned really well, right in the very center of the Kalos region, so if you ever need to go anywhere else from Lumiose, it's pretty easy to get there. You're never far away from wherever you want to go. And speaking of places you might want to visit, the more quiet Kilude City, which is just a train trip away if you want to visit Lumiose Station. Lumiose City has so many cool attractions. I mean, just look at Prism Tower. It's so huge, it looks beautiful, especially when all of the lights turn on for the first time, and the fact that it's a gym makes it even cooler. Want to get a haircut? Lumiose has you covered. Want to buy some clothes from one of the biggest clothing shops from any Pokemon region? Lumiose has you covered. There's even a really nice, peaceful looking museum with some beautiful art. And even over 15 cafes! 15 cafes! That's a lot of choice when you need some coffee. If you couldn't tell, I like coffee. At number 2 today, we have got ourselves Fortree City. All of the homes are tree houses. I think that's all I've got to say. And at number 1 today, we've got ourselves... Oh fine, I'll talk a bit more about Fortree City. Fortree City might not have the best shops, or the biggest houses, or the coolest attractions, but it just seems like a really nice, peaceful place. With all of the houses looking beautiful, just made out of wood, with trees that go through the middle of just about every house. It's just beautiful. I also feel like Fortree City is a good size as well. And I just love the look of the bridges that connect all the houses to each other. I could see myself just standing on one of them, looking out at all of the trees, and just daydreaming there for a while. At number 1 today, we have got another pretty big city, thought to be based on Coney Island in New York. We have got ourselves Nimbasa City. If I had to rename this city, I'd just call it Fun City. I mean, it's got roller coasters, it's got a Ferris wheel, it's got stadiums where you can sit down and watch baseball, soccer, football, tennis, and basketball. It's just got all of the fun, entertaining stuff. On top of the really cool rides and the stadiums you can chill out at, it also manages to include some fountains which give it a really good feel. And like Lumio City, if you feel like Nimbasa City is too big and noisy for you, you can always take a little trip over to Anvil City via the train and then chill out in a more peaceful, relaxing place. Thanks for watching the first video on this channel. If you'd like to see me count down the 5 worst Pokemon gym puzzles, click the video on the left. Or if you'd like to see the making of the Pokemon card wall, click the video on the right. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my social media. I'd like to give a big thank you to Nikki for drawing the cartoon drawings of myself, Pedro for designing my channel logo, and Declan for designing my channel banner. I think they all did an awesome job. There'll be links to all of them in the description, along with a link to Comex who produced the music in my channel intro and outro. This has been Lance with Lance Countdowns, and as usual, stay tough. If you couldn't tell, I like coffee. If you couldn't tell, I like saying if you couldn't tell.